Welcome to your weekend focus for July the 21st and the 22nd, 2018. My name is Tilly, and this is Tara with Tilly, and thank you. Thank you, truly, for all the positive, loving, supportive energy you send my way each and every day. Now let's turn to the cards and see what we have to look forward to for energy surrounding us this weekend and how to use it in a positive light in order to go forward. And we start out with, oh, look at this, the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands, we feel empowered. Absolutely. We're making decisions. We are ready to move forward. We are ready to step into paths. But it's our strength, it's our courage, it's walking with integrity. It's giving it 110% and knowing that we've got it in us to give that. It's believing in ourselves. It's action. Action through our heart center, our passions, our dreams, what we love. So a lot of healing can come in, realizing of goals. So if you're not sure, you've been sitting on the fence, this is probably a time when you say, well, I really feel like I can move in this direction. And so realizing some new decisions or goals in your life. Achieving some sort of balance in your life would be another one with the Queen. We have the Six of Cups. A lot of the planets are in retrograde, and I think we have Mercury planning on going retrograde on us. Jupiter has come out of retrograde, but we still have a lot of planets in retrograde. And so the energy is drawing us into yesteryear, yesterday. We are looking at the past. Now be careful, because the past can be very illusional for us, okay? We can look back at a time that was extremely hard for ourselves, but we only remember the good times, the sweet times. And many times we say, oh, if I could only go back to then, maybe change some actions, change some words, do something different, or that was a special time in my life. I had this, I had that. The pain dissipates. The struggle is almost non-existent. We don't see ourselves in the same light when we look backwards. This could be where we run into old friends, old lovers, old flames, old soulmates, people from our past, or somebody reminds us of that person to bring us back to a thought, a memory of something that we needed to learn and we're going to need in our forward motion. I also get this as playfulness and embracing the now with friends, family, and experiencing joy through maybe some of the most mundane settings. I mean, we're not, there's not Ferris wheels or roller coasters or a big fair or party going on. There's not lights and dazzle, and we're just sitting there. We're sitting there next to a stream, and we're just enjoying each other. We're filling our cups with memories. Memories are made, we don't know we're making the memory until we go, oh my goodness, remember that happened last night, or last week, or last year, or we don't realize we're making the memories. So put your energy into the now and create the memories with friends, with family. Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups is in our, yes, in our conflict area. So it's the wish card, but are we taking time to do our affirmations? Are we believing that we can step into that? Now, with the Queen of Wands as the first card, I would have to say that we could be very determined, very strong. But does something come around to make us doubt ourselves? Be careful of that. Don't let somebody else's interpretation of you or your dreams sway you into thinking that you cannot do something that you thought you could. because chances are you can. If you want to earn $1 million, you don't go to your next door neighbor, you go to a millionaire to ask for advice. Somebody who's already walked the path, somebody who has the sage wisdom. Because your next door neighbor will say, oh, that'll never be. You're crazy. One, because they don't want to see you get hurt. They usually say it out of love. But two, what does that say about them if you could? So it's kind of like a double-edged sword there when you're asking a friend or a next door neighbor or a family member, you know, I've been thinking of doing this. What do you think? They're probably going to shoot it down. They're probably going to shoot holes in your plan, in your vision of your tomorrow. And be careful about who you're asking for advice, sage wisdom. Because they could burst bubbles that don't need to be burst, and you might allow that to happen. So be careful of that this weekend. Be true to yourself. Be true to your goals, your dreams, your desires of where you want to go. Know that it can be. It could be too that we can't see anything in our external world that is showing us that we are on the right path, and so we can doubt it. And we have the 22 energy. We have the 22 energy, and you know, Sunday adds up to a 40 energy, and rarely do you get a 40 energy for a daily energy. So the 40, I believe, is the Page of Cups, which is tapping into our spirituality and not allowing the negatives to rule our life, take our concentration, our focus off our path forward. Those little things that come up that seem like it's demanding your attention. Think about it. Does it really need your attention? Can it wait? Can I put it on the back burner right now? And think about the magic that I can step into. Think about the beauty I can create. Think about the happiness I can have in my life. And yes, with the 40 energy, that is when mentors can appear in your life. Teachers can appear in your life, or perhaps you become that to somebody else. We have the Four of Swords, rest and recuperation. Watch your health. Take time to meditate, pray, reflect. And if you can imagine being that warrior coming off the battlefield, you know what life must be like on the battlefield. I can't even start to fathom. I can't even begin to think of what that's like. Even though I've had some very stressful times in my life, I could never imagine that true battlefield where you're not eating right, you're not sleeping right, you're sleeping with one eye open, you're not eating, you're eating when you can eat, when it's safe to eat, which is like next to never. You're always on alert. You're always filled with some kind of anxiety or tension, even in the happy times, even when you're laughing. There's that, got to be ready for the now. If something were to happen, you got to be ready to act. You're always on call, 24/7. And our bodies can do it for a period of time, but eventually we have to unplug. Eventually we have to take some leave. And so we come home and we take off our armor and we hang up our weapons and we fall into a sleep, a restorative, restful sleep. And as we open our eyes, or even before we open our eyes, we hear the children laughing and playing in the playground, the birds singing in the trees. And there's two things that you probably won't hear if you are on the battlefield. And it's the realization that there's a lot of beauty to step into going forward. And so what is the plan? What is the hope? What is the dream? And envisioning it and planning it. And the Seven of Wands says you are going to stand there and say, I am doing this. I am determined. This is what I want to do. This is who I want to become. This is what I want to step into. And you're telling everybody else, gosh, I hope you join me. I hope you support me. I hope you respect me enough to love me and cheer me on as I move forward in this path. But this is the path I'm taking. Let's get an affirmation card, shall we? Oh, the deck doesn't want to come to me. There we go. So I think it's beautiful energy that we can tap into, but we have to, we almost have to plan that downtime, that reflective time. We have to take the step back and get a clear perspective. It's definitely a weekend where we can create memories with loved ones. It could be very much a weekend where your past comes into your life again, either through reminders, things that used to happen, that deja vu kind of energy, or that actual person or situation comes back into being. The Queen of Fire appears. The Queen of Fires appears. Queen of Wand appears. Look at the fire there. So pay attention to this energy. This is who we are. This is what we're feeling. This is our Queen of Fire. Creative collaborations, soul connections, passion inspired by spirit and artist. I am capable of strong friendships that inspire me and encourage me to express myself in my own way. I co-create with others, dedicated to a vision of achieving the highest good of all. How may I join in the dance of co-creation, letting spirit flow through me and inspire me to express my passions? So what a beautiful question to put out there to God, your angels, your spirit guides, source, the universe, whatever you call that divine energy that surrounds you. How might I join in the dance of co-creation, letting spirit flow through me and inspire me to express my passions? Because definitely, where did I bury it? Buried it alive. We are expressing ourselves here. Very strongly, we are expressing ourselves here. So how do I get inspired to tap into my dreams, my wants, my desires? It's through unplugging. It's through restoring yourself. Another, the Nine of Air. Then we have the Ten of Air on Thursday. Nine of Air. There's the other way. And right you are. Nine of Air. Shifting negative self-talk to self-compassion, from fear to possibility, a call to faith. With a gentle voice, I tell myself that I will be okay, that I am okay, and that any fear is merely false evidence appearing as real. I forgive myself because I know I am human, trying to be the best I can, and need only to call on spirit to remember that I can and will do better as new possibilities begin to gather on my horizon. So yeah, watch about people trying to burst your bubble this weekend and poke holes in your goals and your dreams and your desires. Okay? It's merely false evidence appearing as real. One more, you say? Five of Fire. We have a lot of fire showing up here today. Five of Fire appears. Creative brainstorming. So it's definitely about getting together with friends, family, partnerships, alliances. Creative brainstorming, unity and diversity, honoring differences. I have the freedom to explore the ideas that seem the most far-fetched. What seems crazy today proves tomorrow to be brilliant. And don't kid yourself, every genius was once told that they were absolutely insane. They were nuts. They were crazy. but they were right. And so are you. So don't allow anybody to say you're crazy, it's far-fetched. It's undoable because you can do it. Maybe they can't, but you can. What seems crazy today proves tomorrow to be brilliant. Like a child willing to stretch my imagination when a new playmate comes into the garden, I open to new people and new ideas. Intrigued by what is novel and unfamiliar, this is a time for what is counterintuitive, for appreciating the ideas from out in left field and what they might have to offer. So don't turn down anything just because it doesn't fit, and don't say yes to anything because it seems like it just fits. Think it through. Take a chance. Take a risk. You have the freedom to explore ideas, even if they seem far-fetched. At least explore it. You don't have to walk that path. You don't have to step into it. But at least explore it. Find out about it. If it appears on your path, definitely find out about it. Because if it's not for you, it'll point out something very strong about what is for you. If it is for you, well, you're off to the races, right? So stretching your imagination, open to new people and new ideas, intrigued a little bit by what is novel, unique, new, unfamiliar. And we'll get an animal card here. So driving home today, here's this chicken on the side of the road, and it's just a country road, so there's not many houses. So here's this chicken. I'm thinking, well, if I just leave that chicken, you know, the coyotes might get it, or it's going to get hit by a car. So I drove house to house, knocked on each person's door. And you wouldn't by chance be missing the chicken, would you? So I found the owner. And they were very appreciative that I found their chicken. Under the radar. Well, we haven't seen him in quite a while. It's been a while since we've had him. Under the radar. I think I went too far. I did. So the possum says, under the radar, warrior, practical, and assess. When the oak is felled, the whole forest echoes with its fall, but 100 acorns are sown in silence by an unnoticed breeze. The possum is a master actor, knowing which role to play at the proper time. Possums have practical and intelligent energies that help them assess the situation as to which part they should play. If they feel threatened, they play dead. Possums have entered your life today because it wants you to embrace your inner warrior, and that is Pluto retrograde. Embracing your inner warrior is definitely Pluto retrograde. And Pluto is retrograde, and during the Cancer solar eclipse that we have just come through, the sun and the moon were both opposed. So showing us, putting spotlights on where we have silenced our inner warrior and where we need to step forward in our life if we are daring enough, if we are courageous enough, or if we believe in ourselves, our goals, our dreams, our desires. You don't think that those things are happening because it's trying to push you off the path. It may be wanting you to be more determined, or it may want you to be more grounded and realistic in your approach. But your inner warrior, where have you silenced it? Possum has entered your life today because it wants you to embrace your inner warrior. It's time for you to go under the radar until the situation feels safe once more. Be careful how you use your words at this time, as you may injure relationships and even cause more ripples. Instead, take some time to allow any arguments or miscommunications to quiet, and then don't bring them up. You don't always have to be right, and sometimes stepping away from the situation helps to heal it more quickly and effectively, and that's very much with the 40 energy that we are tapped into on the Sunday. Okay, sometimes we don't have to pay attention to it, even though it seems like it's demanding our attention. Sometimes stepping away from it, it dissipates on its own. You may notice that work situations feel difficult, transitions are happening. Don't start fretting that your job is in danger. Instead, let things play out around you. So go with the flow. Go with the flow today. Tap into tap into where you want to go and what you want in your life. Get together with friends and family. Recharge, recuperate. A lot of fire. A lot of fire asking us to move forward. And the possum says that we might want to go under the radar for a whole bunch of things in our life and tap into our inner warrior and where perhaps we have silenced it and where we now need to allow it to have its voice again. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.